back to the Two-Way Miss podcast. This is a special one tonight, folks. I'm not sure we can sort of express how special it might be. I'm currently staring into the face of, my best friend, which is very exciting, but it's also going to be the first podcast that goes up on YouTube. So for those of you listening, again, this is not to dissuade you from listening to the podcast. However you might listen to it, or how you normally do, it will be on those same channels. The audio part of the podcast is not going anywhere. But as we talked about in our goals podcast, one of the really big goals was to start recording these and getting the video up on YouTube. And this is night number one. So good buddy Banksy, how do you feel, man? How does it feel to be on video? We're kind of knocking these goals out a little early. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I feel great. It's all thanks to you, man. You're the brains behind the operation.
Luckily, it doesn't take too many with all the software that's out there nowadays. It's not too hard, luckily.
If I can figure out how to log on, we're in a good place.
I have to say that was probably what I was most nervous about. Is making sure you could get on.
Yeah, we're only 28 minutes behind schedule.
No, that's see, that was all prep time.
That's not too bad.
There's a first time for everything. So if you are watching this on YouTube, hello to you people out there. I'm Regz. This lovely guy to my left or right, however you're watching that, is Mr. Fairbanks, or the good buddy Banksy, as he's known on this podcast. We'll be uploading these with our regular episodes weekly. We'll be able to throw up some graphics on the screen. We'll be able to throw up, whatever we want, essentially. But you can see that Mr. Fairbanks is wearing a little bit of merch. We'll hopefully be wearing some of our own merch here soon, and you'll be able to see that. But
absolutely, swing hard, everyone.
That's right. His motto, or the tagline.
Also, celebrating our first on camera with a drink. I was gonna go with a beer, but all I have is Coors Light, and I didn't think that'd be taken too kindly. So
that's not appropriate for this podcast network.
When in doubt, rum and coke.
Little Captain and cola. It's apt for the name of the network, so I apologize that I don't have one for myself, but I'm on that. I told you I was, turning over a new leaf. I'm down almost 9 pounds already, buddy.
Wow, congratulations. That's good. It's going to be good for your swing speed.
It is. I'm getting there. We're getting back to premium golf shape.
I like it.
It's obviously very exciting. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's cool. It's all those things, but I think we're both really excited about this part of the podcast, and we'll hopefully be getting the rest of the podcast on the network on the YouTube channel very, very soon. But there was a golf tournament this past weekend that we're going to dive into a little bit. And then to end the show, we're going to do something that I know, Banks, you and I love doing on an almost regular basis. We're going to get into a little bit of what's in the bag. So we're going to go over what's in our particular golf bags, maybe talk about some of the favorite things in the golf bag, and then maybe answer a few questions about all those things that really you don't need when you realize, all the gadgets and gizmos that get promoted to people who play golf. You don't need most of them. So maybe we'll go over a few things that have left our bag in the past few years. But that'll be a fun way to sort of wrap up the episode here. But first, Hideki Matsuyama wins in Hawaii after shooting 63-63 on the weekend and hitting, it's only the second tournament of the year, but it might be a shot of the entire season. A 3-wood
second tournament in.
Yeah. A 3-wood from 277 yards on the second playoff hole, or was it the first one?
I believe it was the first one.
Okay, so on the first playoff hole,
but I could be wrong.
To what? A foot and a half, 2 feet, 3 feet, something like that.
Something I'd be lucky to get my sand wedge close.
Yeah, straight into the sun. Had no idea where it was going after he hit it. Thank goodness they had shot tracer on it, because it looks sick on the shot tracer with that little cut that he put on it. I know you would appreciate where he lined up his tee ball, like basically right over the marker. When I saw that, I was like, Banks is gonna love this.
I love it.
But
a little trickery in there. But yeah, that was awesome.
It was as much as we can talk about, and we will talk about Hideki and, sort of getting the form back. Russell Henley, man, it's tough. It's tough to be playing that well, to shoot that kind of number and lose to it. I mean, look, he did everything he could. When you lose to a shot like that, I'm not sure what else you can do besides sort of tip the cap. It's like that meme or that little video that goes around on the internet every once in a while when Dirk hits that fadeaway and he kind of falls back into Kobe on the bench. And Kobe just sort of pats him on the butt and he looks at his teammates and he's like, "Good shot, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Love the Kobe reference.
I knew you would enjoy that. It's just one of those things. Like he stepped up and he hit the shot and it was unbelievable. I don't know. I've watched that video probably 30 times by now. I don't know. What did you sort of think of it? What was your thoughts?
Well, Henley has nothing to hang his head about. He didn't give it away. Matsuyama kind of took it.
Right.
And I think in regulation, you have your classic Hideki one hand off the club shot. It wasn't a great shot, but it still was on the green, like 25 feet
right
left of the pin. But Henley, he did what he could. He couldn't. He played well. But when you have elite players pulling off elite shots, it is what it is sometimes. There's when people come up to you and say, "Well, that's golf," usually it pisses you off because they're usually talking to you like, "Oh, it's just golf." But in that situation, that's golf.
Right.
Hideki's a major winner. He's one of the best players in the world, and he had to hit a shot, and he pulled it off in regulation. He actually hit that incredible drive and had an iron into the green and left it short. So the fact that he got another chance and stuck, again, hitting a 3-wood. These guys hit 3-woods like pitching wedges.
Oh yeah, it's wild
into the greens, and it's incredible. I can count on probably one hand how many times I've pulled off a 3-wood second shot into a par 5.
277 too.
Yeah. And by saying I could count it on one hand, I don't know if
might only be one finger.
Yeah, I know. Maybe. But yeah, these guys, Justin Thomas is a really good, 3-wood, can hit the 3-wood high and soft. And he did that several times when he won his PGA several years ago, but it was nice to see, have some drama. We've had 2 good weeks so far of golf, right? We've had Smith and Rahm going back and forth, and then we had Hideki and Henley going at it this week. So we're off to a good start in the season.
Yeah, that's sort of what you're looking for. I think it was kind of the one thing that made the tournament exciting, to go from the Tournament of Champions with that, how much that golf course changes and the undulations and just like the monster fall offs and hills, to go to Wailea is like, again, it's like really a resort course. I know.
Right.
So it's not as dramatic. But the low scores keep people watching. And obviously when you get into a playoff with a guy like Hideki, especially in a place like Hawaii, it's not on par with his win at the Zozo, being in Japan and all that, but it's tough. It's tougher. Like, Russell Henley, I just looked it up, has made $19 million over his career, which is wild because you hear about him maybe twice a year, and he's only won 3 times. But it just shows you how hard it is to win these golf tournaments with the level of talent that the guys at the top have. Like,
and that was what, 5. I think it was, he had a 5-shot lead through 9.
Yep.
And Hideki chased him down. Who, by the way, if you go back to the pre-tournament coverage, was having some range sessions with his wedges and was not not too pleased with himself.
Yeah, you
So,
mentioned that.
but these guys are so good, and they got he's got 4 coaches behind him.
Right.
That not not having a great range session, I don't think holds too much weight because you got cameras and trackers and coaches and
Yeah,
um,
and again,
you know,
Hideki's one to let loose a club even if it's like a foot offline. He
that's yeah.
lets it go for practically nothing. But I think the thing that I took away was that the putting has come around kind of so early in the season. I don't think he played a little bit after the Masters. He obviously, being the first tournament, he played a decent amount, but wasn't really great. The rest, obviously, you don't really need to be after you win the Masters with all, you know, I'm sure the obligations that came with that for him as the, first golfer from Japan to win it, all those things. But everyone kind of chalked that up to being like the week that he put it together. Like he's won a couple times, but it's always, did he, the putting has to be there for him to do it. He's always capable of these shots. Do you think getting a win, in the second tournament of the season means that we see maybe him win, 2 more times, 3 more times? Like, what do you think it means something for the rest of the season?
It's a good possibility. I mean, he's such a good ball striker. The putting had been his um, Achilles heel sometimes. It hasn't been the most consistent putter, and he's going through a few different setup changes with the putter. Um, not all of it looks the most natural, and
Yeah.
even looks a little uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but with the putter rolling and as good of a ball striker as he is, I could absolutely see him having a multiple win season. And I'm not sure how many tournaments he's slated to play. But again, he got that first major off his back. He's won in Japan at the Zozo, so he should be freewheeling it. Um, I don't know if that's the kind of guy he is. He's a pretty
Yeah.
technically sound player but yeah, absolutely with his game because he doesn't necessarily have too many weaknesses in his game, and if he gets the putter rolling, 100%, I could see multiple win season for him. I don't know if I'm going to go uh, as far as saying he's going to win a major. He wasn't one of my picks a couple weeks ago, and I don't think he's necessarily one of my picks now.
Yeah.
But playing in enough golf tournaments, yeah, I could definitely see him winning another 1 or 2 tournaments this
Yeah.
season.
I don't know what gives you enough confidence with a putter than winning the Masters. Like, you can't again, you can put it, these guys are so good, they can put it together for any sort of week. But if you were a bad putter and needed any sort of confidence boost, it's like, oh yeah, I won the Masters. I can't, like, this can happen. We
Yeah.
can do this. This can be a thing that we just are good at the rest of the season or, for a long time.
Who knows?
Um,
Maybe he'll defend at Augusta.
I mean, that would be like,
That'd be nuts.
yeah, that's really the only word to describe it, I think, with the level of talent that we're expecting, these guys to be at once we roll around to April.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot out of a good handful of players this season. I feel like it's a rebound season for a lot of guys this year.
Yeah,
So,
you hope that DJ's playing better. You hope that Koepka's not hurt anymore. Spieth is, showed that he's getting back towards himself a little bit. Speaking of him, I meant to bring this up. When you mentioned that you noticed something in his swing that was looking weird with Spieth,
mhm.
wasn't that you who was you? Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't want to.
another, I was listening to the No Laying Up guys, and they brought it up too. Like they immediately
Yes.
brought it up. Like,
Okay.
and they were
So I'm
like,
not crazy. I'm not
no, no,
crazy.
no, no. They were like, I didn't like that. They were like, it's weird. I don't know what's
It
going
does. It
on.
looks, yeah. It looks odd. Um, and yeah, and it's in every rehearsal practice swing, and it looks weird. Like I'm not sure what his uh, process is to
Yeah.
what that's going to accomplish. I'm not sure what he's working on, but yeah, there was definitely a little hitch there in the backswing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to
So
keep an eye on that.
yeah,
And
I
see
mean,
if
you know,
it,
this guy's finally getting back to being on, you know, somewhat of a, you know, where he well that he doesn't suck anymore, and then we're all of a sudden going to start with swing changes. Like I hope he knows what he's doing.
I hear that part of it, but I also think that he's been in the weeds for so long. And yes, like, I think that's the thing we have to remember is that we were just excited because he looked decent. Like he won the one tournament, but you know, I don't think anybody really expected him to do that. So I kind of think a little bit that I don't think he was done tinkering or trying to get his swing to a certain spot. And whatever he's trying to emphasize with this, you know, with this warm up routine or whatever it might be. Again, I don't know exactly what it is that he's trying to get to or overemphasize, but I think we can't see too far past the fact that he's still trying to tinker and he's still trying to figure something out. What that is, we still don't know, but you know, maybe this is just he needs to do this for a few weeks, and why not do it, you know, during some beginning of the year tournaments where nobody would expect much of him, and if it gets him ready for April, then you know that's what he's got to do. I'll be nervous if he's doing it at Augusta. Let's just say that I'll be nervous if he's doing it at Augusta.
Yeah.
I hope he's not because
Mm.
I don't want him to do that. I don't want to see a weird, you know, like routine at Augusta.
Prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah, there you go. Uh,
Um, yeah. So one last note on Hawaii, I guess. You know, I was I was pumped to see Jim Furyk on the first round lead. I think he played the rest of the tournament at 1 under par. He went 8 under the first day and
yep.
1 under the next 3 days. But you know, it's always nice to see one of the old heads. Furyk
They're
get his
always good
name
for
up
one of
there.
those rounds, you
Yeah.
know?
Kevin Na played well. He was one that I was kind of keeping my eye on going into that tournament. Kisner had a good finish.
So slow, Kevin Na. Oh my
So
gosh.
slow. Yeah. At least he doesn't fidget over the ball anymore. At least he doesn't, you
Yeah,
know,
pull the whole JB Holmes.
yeah, pull the hesitation
Yeah,
swing.
right.
Um.
Yeah,
So,
you said
but
that, you know, Kisner played well again.
yep,
Um,
yeah. Webb Simpson flew all the way over there
I
to
know for
play
nothing.
like shit. And
Yep.
all right,
Yep.
let's go.
To be second in the odds. Remember we looked at the odds. He was the
Yeah.
second favorite.
Yeah, I think he was 2 under for the week or something.
Gosh, Webb.
Webb's getting upset. Um, but yeah, I think that's something worth talking about in a future episode down the road here. Just that disparity, how like he literally flew to Hawaii.
Yeah, he wasn't there
To
the week before. It's not like he was there already.
right, he literally flew to Hawaii to play in a tournament because it was a short enough. I mean, all things, when it really comes down to it, it was a golf course that was short enough
Right.
where he thought he had a chance to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something to discuss at another time. But just how massive these golf courses are, and some of the extreme lengths that some of these guys have to go to just to find a course where they have a chance to a chance to win.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't remember a season where Webb like started the season on fire. I feel like he's a guy that has to play in a good amount of tournaments and really sort of, get his game back into a good spot before he starts doing well. I don't remember him ever like coming out of the gate like crazy. I mean, I might be forgetting one season or two, but I feel like he's never an early season guy. He's all, he's got to play himself back into whatever shape his game needs to be in. And then he sort of starts picking off those tournaments, like you said, where he is going to tournaments specifically because he knows he can compete there.
Right.
But we'll certainly keep an eye on it, because being the number 2 in the odds to be the winner, like, I don't know what people are thinking or what they're seeing, in Webb Simpson that made them think that, but I guess we'll keep an eye on it.
It was his press conference, man. He was super confident in his press conference. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to Hawaii, guys. I'm going to win. This is really, top 5 golf course of all time for me."
Really swayed those Vegas odd makers with a confident press conference. But so next week is the American Express out in California. This starts the PGA Tour sort of West Coast swing. It's going to go from, let's see here. We were just talking about it. American Express to the Farmers at Torrey Pines to Pebble Beach Pro-Am to Phoenix Open to Riviera.
Yeah, that Pro-Am at Pebble Beach is always fun because you got the celebrities out playing and
I can usually only watch about a round of it, except for Sunday. Like before
enough
Sunday,
of the shenanigans. Too many shenanigans.
Yeah, before Sunday, I can maybe watch half a round. I don't need to see the CEO of PNC like hit a ball on a par 3. I don't need to see it. Yeah. I don't need to see Bill Murray suck at golf again. Yeah.
He's selling a lot of shirts though.
Hey, more power to him.
He's selling a hell of a lot of shirts.
But I just don't. I'm over the shtick of it, I think.
Hey, actually, this week the women have their Pro-Am, and there's a lot of top celebrities playing.
Yeah, it's like it's their sort of tournament of champions, but it's sort of this sort of Pro-Am style.
Yeah, and there's a good amount of pretty high-end athletes going to be playing this week. So
yeah, I think most of the top players in the world over there are going to be at that tournament, so it'll definitely be a good one to watch. I think that's something that I know I want to watch a little bit more of, just because I always appreciate just how good of iron players they are. And again, I think, and it's what people always say, it's, to normal golfers besides you, their numbers are more relatable, right? They're hitting shots in the same sort of yardage gaps that normal people would be. They're not hitting their 3-wood 277 yards with a cut, all those kind of things that these freaks do over on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, their ball goes a lot straighter than
it does.
You want to see some straight ball flights, you watch.
Yeah, those pro tracers don't have to work too hard a lot of the times at the ladies tournaments.
It's pretty impressive to watch, and there's a good field. I mean, Annika Sorensen's playing as a celebrity.
Yeah, I saw that.
She might win the She might win the tournament.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. But yeah, I think it's a really good alternative to the PGA Tour this week. The American Express is like another one of those things. Like, just get me to Phoenix and Riviera, and
right. You got
the Farmers is all right at Torrey Pines.
I think you got Rom's in the field this week. Phil's in the field. Who you never know what.
Yeah, never know what's going to happen.
That's going to bring.
But I feel like when it's like this, like these are the tournaments you can follow on Twitter.
Sure.
You'll see all the highlight videos. If Phil or Rom does something cool, where they're shooting a really low number, you'll see all the videos. You'll see all the clips. Like, it's just not one of those tournaments that, unless you're getting paid to watch it, that you have to really like sit down on the couch and be super focused on. It's one of those ones that you sort of like click on in the background. Or for me, when I get 10 minutes to control the remote, when it's not Nick Jr. on the television, flip it on while you're making dinner or lunch or something.
A TV in their room like good parents. Come on.
No, I'm gonna be a bad parent. I'm not gonna do that. They have enough
Uh,
TVs in the entire house to work with. They don't need one in their room.
hey, Ricky Fowler's playing this week. Most overrated
Yay.
golfer in the history of golf.
He's gonna be on that Netflix doc.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. He plays like shit for 3 years, and that his punishment is going through the Netflix
Yeah.
documentary
So I
series.
mean, we sort of found that out, and we can sort of segue into this before we do the what's in the bag, because I think it's an important thing to talk about. We've sort of found that out as we finished last week's episode. I was just on Twitter, and Netflix finally confirmed the people that would be in it. I'm going to look it up now as we keep talking, but they confirmed that they're doing a Drive to Survive type documentary for the PGA Tour. And
Yeah.
I mean,
It's gonna be neat. It's gonna be really interesting because we don't, you don't get too much behind the scenes stuff of these top players and the what goes into tournaments and trainings and things like that. It's gonna be a neat situation.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched the F1 doc. I did. I'm not a fan of, motorsports in general, but I thought the documentary itself was extremely well done and extremely cool because everyone bought into it. Everyone was like talking trash on the other teams. Everyone let, the doc in. I think as I've listened to people talk about this and more and more articles have come out about it, or people are talking about it on podcasts. I think the biggest thing that people are really happy about is that all the majors are in. All the majors are signed on to allow these guys to go behind the scenes. And I think especially with the Masters, people are like, if this didn't have the Masters, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
There might be some unprecedented coverage and behind the scenes stuff at the Masters that this doc is going to be able to capture, that I think even a casual golf fan, who might only, I pressed my mute button.
Well,
Nope, I'm
there
back.
he is. He's back. He's back.
I accidentally tapped it. I forgot it was my mute button.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I didn't do it. I didn't do that, everyone. He did it.
Nope, that was me, my bad.
He was going to give away, spoiler alert, I had to mute him quick.
Yeah. I was going to say something stupid. I was just saying that I think a lot of people are really happy that the Masters is a part of it, and we might be getting some sort of unprecedented looks in, behind the ropes at Augusta. And I think for even a casual golf fan, because they might only watch the majors, the fact that this is going to be something that sort of gets that access is going to be that much more popular, because it will speak to not only the hardcore fans who are going to want to see all that stuff, like, because what do you mean we get to see like more of the champions locker room, or maybe a walkthrough of the entire clubhouse, whatever it might be. That pulls in the hardcore fans, but it also, knowing that the majors are in on something gets those casual fans, because they might only know the Masters, the US Open, the PGA Championship, and the Open. That might be the only golf tournaments they ever watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pumped for it. And hey, nothing more entertaining than golfers talking trash to each other.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I'm sure you'll get some really good dialogue there.
They're so bad at it. Did you see that? So Bryson is not doing it.
Oh no, don't. I know what you're going to say.
So he was asked, of course, hey Bryson, why not, do something like this? You're the YouTube guy, you're the TikTok guy, right? You're the one trying to be out there. And he essentially said that he didn't want to overshadow all the lower guys, their own opportunity, this sort of opportunity that they would have. He wouldn't want to overshadow them and take away from this opportunity because they're not as well known. Like, he said this out loud to the media. He just can't help it, man. He can't help it.
How many times have we said, like, when do you think the next time he's going to be an idiot? Well, I guess it happened.
I don't get it. How can it keep happening?
It's Bryson's world, man. We're just lucky to be a part of it.
It's just so stupid. It's just so dumb.
He he's something else. He's something. But you know what? Like, I don't know if I need to see. I don't know if I need to see him anyway. Like,
I mean, I'm
because
with you there. Yeah.
it's just it's good. If he was there, it'd be a train wreck anyway.
Yeah.
It would just make people hate him even more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I don't think he's needed. I think it would turn off more people than it would bring in, to be quite honest. But I'm excited. I hope that you know, they've said that, the PGA Tour or any of these places do not have editorial rights. So it's all on these producers and directors, who are making the doc, which I think is,
That's big for the PGA Tour. That's surprising.
I mean, I'm hoping that they essentially told them no. Like Netflix said, no,
Yeah,
we're not doing this unless you give us the freedom to do it how we want. And Netflix is a bigger entity than the PGA Tour could ever
right.
imagine, right? So I'm hoping they kind of threw their weight around and sort of just told them, like, we'll do this and it'll be good for you, but you're not touching this.
Yeah,
And I
great. I
think
can't wait
yeah, I think it'll be really interesting and obviously it'll be a big topic of conversation when it starts coming out here on the pod.
for sure. For sure.
So, all right, we've done about a half hour. I want to spend, the rest of the pod as we do getting into, some other topics other than your week to week PGA Tour, because that can just be boring when you just talk about who wins. And then, you're like, oh, yeah, that shot was cool. And then there's nothing else to talk about. So we're going to run through what's in the bag. I think I'm going to go first because mine hasn't changed very much. And you're much more of a tinkerer. Mainly because of your access to these things working in the pro shop. But my clubs only change when you give me a hand-me-down. So that's about the only time that my clubs change. But I think, so let's just start with driver and just work our way down, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So my driver is still an old TaylorMade. Oh my God. Why can't I even remember it? It's the blue and white one. Why can't I remember what it's called?
SLDR.
Yeah, thank you. The SLDR, the slider. Yep. It would. So it's the old SLDR. God, it's got a small head on it. I bought it off your buddy Mark. Our friend Mark.
Yeah.
I've had it for way too long. I can't swing it anymore, so I need to obviously make an adjustment to it, and we'll have maybe some videos or another pod coming out later when we figure out what the new driver will be.
Heavy shaft in there too, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
80, 85-gram shaft or something.
Yeah, he set it up, all for him.
Yeah.
So it was he's a much better player than I am.
Keeps
So
your swing on plane.
yeah, sure, if it ever is on plane. But, that's the driver. The irons are my trusty Mizunos. They've been around for, oh my God. I think I bought them the year after we graduated college.
Yeah, you got
So
those irons
2010.
before. Yeah.
So that's coming up on 12 years. I still love them. I really can't find anything wrong with them.
Yeah, they look good, they feel good, and the distances you're getting out of them.
I mean, when I hit them, those suckers go. I need to get this stupid toe miss out of my repertoire. But I mean, even when I do miss hit, they're not catastrophic.
Yeah, your irons are. I mean, use those till you.
I mean, yeah, it's essentially going to be until they break. I don't have any reason to change those. I don't hit it well enough to wear out the face in any particular spot. I've got Cleveland wedges. It's a 54. I'm just rocking the 50. Yeah, 54 and a 60 right now. So I guess a sand wedge and a lob wedge.
Are you down clubs or what are you filling those?
No, because I have a gap wedge in the iron set.
Oh, right.
So the iron set goes four. Oh, I forgot. I do have a three wood, which is an old Ping that I think I got from you.
I think it's an old Adams.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I love that club. That's a great club. And then I do have a hybrid. I have a 3 hybrid in the bag that I remember I broke the face of that other Callaway one that I
the
just
one that
loved so
was like your
much.
favorite. You want your favorite club in the bag, and it
Oh, it was so
shat
sad. The face
shatters.
just broke, and then they were, call them and they're like, yeah, we'll send you the new model. And I hate it. I hate the new one so much. So that's where the clubs get filled in.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a 54 and a 60 in the wedges. And then the putter is my, the baby, the Scotty,
Yeah.
the black
Yeah.
Newport, which I love. Oh my God, I love that club.
The darling. Yeah.
Yep, it looks so good. Trying to think. Rocking a, Bushnell rangefinder. Love the laser. It was like one of the best additions that I added to the bag.
Ball you using? What's your
Vice. I'm
go-to?
using the Vice balls, the Pro Plus.
Okay.
I've switched to those. I think mainly because I would get my sort of allotment of Titleist Pro Vs at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually I lose too many balls. So I had to, stock up for myself. So you can buy the Vice Pro Plus balls at $25 a box. Like you just order 5 at a time. So you spend a little bit over $100. You get 5 boxes of balls. And I mean, I think you've hit them a few times.
Yeah.
There's a difference between them and Titleist, I think, just in feel. But in performance, I really haven't seen much of a difference, at least for me. Obviously, I'm not an amazing player, so I can't say that I feel, every in and out of a golf ball. But for me, I think they're a great way to cut down on the cost of premium golf balls. And the performance is good enough that I can't tell a difference.
You use the neon orange balls, right?
No, not yet.
They
My
have.
eye, my eyesight's still good enough. I can use the
That's
white
right.
ones.
I think those Vice balls come in like
They do. There's like yellow,
74 different
There's
colors.
yellow and orange and that kind of stuff. But they make regular ones, so I just use the regular ones. Yeah, I don't know. Other than it, like it's a lot of tees. It's a lot of ball markers. It's some divot tools. It's all that stuff. The other, I can't not mention the Jordan golf shoes.
Oh,
Love them.
it's a every year tradition now for me.
Yeah, see, mine
It's
will last me a while. I don't play as much as you do, so I don't wear them out quite as much. But I think for me, as I go into this golf season, nothing is sort of on the table for changing, probably except maybe the driver.
It's time. Yeah,
I
it's
think it's
time.
definitely time. I need more forgiving head. I need a more forgiving driver. Probably a different weighted shaft that fits, my swing a little bit better. Yeah, but I think I need to take advantage of the new technology considering my mishits. Yeah, the irons and the wedges aren't going anywhere. The putter's not going anywhere. I still love that 3-wood. It's a great 3-wood. But yeah, I think that about covers it for my bag. What are you rocking nowadays, Banksy?
Yeah, so I've been with a Callaway driver now for five years. Not the same one, but I've I was TaylorMade there for a while, and then Callaway when they came out with their first Epic. I was fortunate enough to win enough win enough money to have it purchased, and I've never looked back. I've gone from an Epic um, to a new Epic and to a Maverick, which I've had for a couple years, and Callaway is just putting out really good products right now. 3-wood, I have an old TaylorMade SLDR 3-wood still, for the 15 times a season that I hit it. Um, it still it feels good, looks good.
Yeah, it's the one club you
Really,
don't use a lot.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's driver. Like what would Phil do? He's hitting bombs, so you know
It's that
I
Callaway
gotta
driver rubbing off on you.
exactly. I did switch up irons. I got a new set of Callaway uh, Apex irons, not quite blades. One step away from blades. I'm not getting into that mess.
Yeah, this is the surprise. I mean, I know I was surprised when you did this. I remember being surprised when you switched off the TaylorMade drivers. And
Hmm.
then I remember being surprised when I first saw you with these. And I was like, God, you must hit these so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're actually it's a nice club because I can really gain control of my distance to some extent. You know, I can take my pitching wedge from anywhere from 155 yards if I absolutely have to, but I pull that club out from 115 yards too. So I really like the flexibility with the range of distances I can hit those clubs, especially the shorter irons.
Yeah.
Um, and um, they come in they come in black steel shafts, which I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
It
You're
was
a sucker for
it was
some things.
it was too cool to pass up.
Yeah.
So, um, but I'll stay true to my Vokey Titleist Vokey wedges. I'm actually probably due for a new set of wedges. You know, they say about those. They say wedges, the grooves in the wedges, they're good for about 75 rounds. Uh, I don't quite replace them that often,
Yeah.
but it's probably soon time for some new Titleist wedges. Um, I have a 64-degree wedge that I'll throw in the bag every once in a while if I'm playing a course with um, smaller greens, quicker greens. So smaller greens means I won't be hitting as many greens as in regulation,
Yeah.
but I'll be close enough that I could have some delicate shots around the greens. I'll put the 64-degree wedge in the bag every once in a while. Um, I've been playing around with golf balls the last couple years. Bridgestone, TaylorMade, um, you know, Pro V, regular Pro Vs, and honestly, I just can't. I always come back to the Pro V1X, and I think instead of and honestly, yeah, right behind the Pro V1X, I'd say I would go with Bridgestone, but the Pro V1X is my ball, and I'm sticking I'm sticking to it. I think for the whole season this
All
year.
right.
Yeah, but I like as we go along, more friends and family members and sisters, cousins, boyfriends, fiancés. They're getting into golf, and um, I love watching them swing, and I love watching them swing with the equipment that they have because for a lot of them, it's their first set.
Yeah.
I know we'll go out in the range and they'll hit some balls and the balls are flying all over the place. And like, dude, what do I do? So, well, step one is to get rid of those, get rid of those irons that were from your
That one that came in a box with all the rest of the
yeah,
clubs.
that your grandfather gave you
Yeah.
that he played with 20 years ago that, have
Oh man, though,
seen.
remember those TaylorMades that Stein has that I gave him? Remember those irons of mine with the red grips?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, those things were like
Those were Titleists. They
Titleist. That's
were
right. They were like, oh
the
my god, these
DCIs.
old thin
Yeah.
blades. I should have never even been close to those clubs.
Yeah.
They
Well,
look,
you gave him the right person though.
oh, of course, yeah,
I'm sure he's got it figured out.
using them well. He just liked that I put the
Um,
red grips on them.
but yeah, I really enjoy helping people find clubs that are better suited for them and better fitted for them because even when you're first starting out, it makes a huge difference. I have my one sister has a ex baseball player of a fiance, so he's out there ripping swings. He's got senior flex graphite shafts with
Mm-mm.
weird looking heads on it.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, it's time to
yeah.
it's time. So
They're
even even in the beginning, if you're going to take golf seriously, even in the beginning, if you know you're going to take it seriously, you should really find a set that somewhat fits your swing, or else you're going to be picking up bad habits and you're going to hit terrible shots a majority of the time because you don't have the proper equipment.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think you realize it quickly, but you don't ever know when's the right time. It's a big financial decision for a lot of these clubs, right? Drivers are
It's it's
$300. Irons can be anywhere from $700 to $1,100. Like,
$300. Where do you find a driver for
that's
$300?
what it used to be. That's what it
Do you know
used
what
to.
driver?
I
Do you know
haven't
what drivers cost right
I
now?
haven't bought one in a very long time, man.
Any from five, I think the 500, 550
Yeah, that's
and up.
nuts.
It's
Go buy the old models when the new ones come out, is what I'd say to
there.
people.
There you go.
But yeah, it's a big financial commitment, and
It's an investment. Yeah.
when you don't know how many rounds you're going to be able to play, or even if your game is bad, i.e., me, I bought a lot of my stuff when I was playing a lot of golf, so at the time it was fine. It was also before I had kids, so that helps as well. But it it makes a difference, and it makes a big one. And I know you love talking about it, so it'll definitely be something that we keep bringing up. We'll have, we got plenty of topics to talk about club and manufacturer wise, and we're gonna, do some stuff around getting me into a new driver, I think. So we'll have some content to put out about that. But finish the bag. What's the putter? You like to tinker with your putters too. So
Well,
what are you on this
yes.
week?
So really, it's I have this title, the same Titleist Newport that you have, and then I also actually played a majority of the last season with a Spider Mini that really it just lines up nice. It looks good. I feel like I can put a good stroke on the ball. And yeah, so the Titleist Newport model with the black finish, and then it's a Spider Mini with a copper finish. And I actually extend my putter to about right around 36 inches,
Mm-hmm.
which usually standards are 34 to 35 inches, and I bump it up an inch. I just think it gives me a better pendulum type swing.
Yeah.
So that's the bag. Plus, yeah, and like you said, you get divot repair tools and ball marks. You start with one, you end with 50.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
But
they're
they're
fun.
too cool to throw away.
I
Yeah,
love collecting the ball markers and, all that stuff from the different courses you can go to. Even if you're just walking around, like, pick up tees, see where they're from. You'd be surprised on the things you could find when you're just picking up a few things and, just throw them in the bag. You're like, oh yeah, I remember, when we played
yeah,
there, or I remember when I picked that up, and you have a nice story to tell somebody. But
for sure.
I think we'll find a time when we're together next. We'll film some videos and we'll actually show you guys the clubs we're working with, all those things. You can take a look at the gadgets we're using. And then, like I said, there's so much to talk about from an equipment standpoint, from what you should, put in your bag, even from a golf shoe standpoint. Like, there's a ton to talk about in that space. There'll definitely be some episodes and weeks this year where we can dive into that. Because I know that
Might throw up a few lessons here and there too.
there you go.
Some little tidbits.
That's right. We can always do that. But as we start this golf season, we want to sort of lay out, what we're working with and some of the things that we might be focused on from an equipment standpoint, and just use it as a topic of conversation for the rest of the season. So it's something we enjoy talking about. It's something we enjoy, texting each other about all the time. We'll have some fun, trying out some new clubs here soon, I'm sure. But all right, man. I think we've done it. I think we've
It's a wrap.
done our first video podcast. I think it went well, as they all do.
Yeah.
appreciate you bearing with me for a half hour as we got everything set up. But look, this is, the new step forward, for the podcast and the network, and it's exciting, and it's going to be really cool to get the YouTube channel set up and keep these episodes rolling out. But
Yeah,
I think it was a good one. What do you think? You good? You happy with
absolutely.
everything?
I'm thrilled with everything, and like you hit on it. You hit on it a couple times. We set goals for the show, and we've achieved this goal. And I heard it's funny. I heard a clip from Matthew McConaughey today, and he said goals are contracts with yourself.
There you go.
You write it down, you make it happen. And he actually uh, recently found a list of 10 goals that he written down back in 1992. And he's like, you know what? I forgot about this list, but I found it, and I've basically achieved everything on this list. So the fact that you set forth the goal of getting this up and running with the video stuff and getting it out there, kudos to you, my
That's
friend.
right. Here we are, the third week of the year, and we're doing it. It's good. Like I said, another goal of ours is to work on the merch side of things. So we'll certainly be working on that next while we continue to refine the video aspect of the podcast. But please continue to listen. Just how you have always been. This YouTube side is just meant to be a complement to it. It's just meant to give you another way to enjoy the podcast and then enjoy the two of us talking about golf. And luckily, people seem to be enjoying it. Like I told you the other day, we had over 50 listens to the end of the year pod, which was
awesome.
Nuts, like just crazy. So we can't say enough how much we appreciate everyone, tuning in all the time. We'll be back next week with another topic and another golf tournament to talk about. But we'll see you on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/birdies and beer pods. We'll put it out on all the Twitters and Instagrams and everything, so you can follow the link there. But thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for watching. As we're going to have to add to the outro. But have a good night, everybody.
Baby.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, swing hard, everyone.